OG's draft is much easier to execute. It seems more cohesive, and in terms of getting forward, they can make that happen for themselves. But I feel like I want to feel some BetBoom magic. So game 2, give me U0, give me another day with BetBoom in the tournament. But more importantly, I want to go into day number 4 having absolutely no idea who's going upper bracket, who's going home, or who's going lower bracket. So let's go BetBoom.
All right,
Smoked up already.
We can get the hype for TI11. You can see if BetBoom can carry this in towards this final game here against OG. As I said, it feels like it's just a straightforward game of Dota here for OG, but they've got some very, very strong heroes here on BetBoom. If they can play fast tempo, if they can continue to put the pressure onto OG, if they can force Yuragi to not be able to sit back and farm like he likes to, if they force Amar to have a bad lane as well, I think that's going to be a big thing. If they can have this ladder not have a good time in the off lane, then they definitely have what it takes. But I don't know, man. Let's see. Let's see. I hope I'm proven wrong.
It's going to be a fun one. Some vision already plopped down by OG in middle. Of course, BetBoom got their vision out on the other side. Amar is going to be super instrumental in this game. He cannot have a bad laning phase on the slaughter. Yeah. It's like, just strictly speaking, not allowed. He has to absolutely dominate it. Well, not dominate it, but come out in decent stead. And then hold his own until BZM can come through with the initial rotation. Last game, of course, BetBoom lost out on the bounty runes trade. This time around, it's going to be a little bit kinder to them. Oh, no, it won't. Tiger goes to steal it. Never mind. 3-1. Maybe this is the strat. You give up all the bounty runes, lull them into a false sense of security, then you smash them in the laning phase. There we go.
Yeah. You always get yourself set up for the laning phase, and you say, bounty runes, who needs it? Nobody needs it at this point. I'm interested to see how this offlane is going to go here for Notice. Bloodseeker and Primal Beast in towards a Luna and Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden is a very strong lane winner. She can do a lot of work against these heroes with Crystal Nova. They are just going to kind of just spam out this lane. I like what they were doing. It's what we saw coming out of Beast Coast in our previous series where they were playing this like offlane Ember Spirit. They understand that if you just get to level 2 and get a few more of these levels, you can start to pressure these heroes like the Luna, like the Crystal Maiden. And you've got these abilities that are able to just kill creep waves so fast. Coast in our previous series where they were playing this like offlane Ember Spirit, they understand that if you just get to level 2 and get a few more of these levels, you can start to pressure these heroes like the Luna, like the Crystal Maiden. And you've got these abilities that are able to just kill creep waves so fast that it's very, very hard for these safe laners trying to deal with it. Yuragi is chasing away Roger and Notice, but he might lose out on a few creeps underneath his tower.
Roger brought the creeps. So Notice is going to clean them up nice and quick. I imagine also part of the reason why they decided on the side of OG to pick this Crystal Maiden is to deny the CM Leshrac combination to BetBoom. Because we saw just how well it can work out when you have that additional battery for the Lesh. Speaking of the Lesh, let's take a quick look at him in this mid lane. Last game we had this Puck matchup that happens because we saw just how well it can work out when you have that additional battery for the Lesh. Speaking of the Lesh, let's take a quick look at him in this mid lane. Last game we had this Puck matchup that happens all the time, every single time. Like you mentioned, it gets kind of boring. The solo kill that we saw was one of the most exciting things in it. This game, it's the Pangolier middle. What do you make of this matchup? Who should come out on top here?
I think BZM's doing a really, really good job at abusing the shield crashes, abusing the fact that it's at level 1, it's 20% slow and a 20% damage reduction whenever he hits the Leshrac. So he's using it to not only secure CS, but also just meaning that he can trade right clicks with the Leshrac. Leshrac is one of those heroes that has relatively high armor, but same does BZM. So I like the way that he's playing out of this. He can also make rotations early on, so I think this is going to be relatively even farm for both these two players, but BZM definitely will be able to make a rotation early on than what Lyle will be able to.
Yeah. Unless Lyle gets uber lucky again and finds like a haste rune or something.
Yeah.
And bottom. Amar on the slaughter was picked for its laning prowess, as well as for its teamfight initiation, and the fact that it's an Amar specialty. BetBoom, of course, went for the Dahak Troll to try and counteract some of this. And so far, so good. He's farming away pretty happily. Has not really suffered too much harass back from the slaughter. As long as you just stay back from him pre-boots, you should pretty much be fine all the time. Although, they do get the bash out. Nice usage of the whirling access to increase the mischance, so Amar doesn't even bother going for the subsequent right click.
Yeah, you can just see what happens when they have this combination of the Oracle as well as the Slider. I like this lane. You've got the Fortune's End as well as the Purifying Flames to be able to enable Amar to get on top of some of these heroes. And this is the weakness of Silencer. This is why I'm a big proponent of the Silencer hater fan club. He feels like he does do a little bit in the lane, but if you want to pick a lane dominating 5, like you don't pick Silencer for that. You pick Silencer for the global ulti and I guess infinite scalability. Yeah, mainly it's just global Silence. He's a glorified Arbor, ladies and gentlemen.
What do you mean, bro? You can get bonus intelligence, fam.
Dude, I literally watched a game today of Team Aster where Siamese Cat bought a refresher of and sat in Fountain. If that is not the epitome of Silencer players, I don't know what is. I really don't.
Not only did he do that, but he literally didn't leave the base for like 20 minutes. It was so funny. Right now, BZM trying to fight versus Law here. Law can actually get the solo kill. Is this the first blood? No, it's going to get a turnaround because BZM gets the water rune first. But here comes Roger with the onslaught. They're going to set up the solo kill. BZM, one more right click, and it's going to be him going down. First blood happening in this mid lane. This time around, Law doesn't solo kill him, but nonetheless, with some assistance, he does get the better of his lane counterpart.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be definitely a solo kill. Oh, did they get the kill on Law? Oh, they didn't have the damage there from Tiger. Okay, yes, he does.
He does! Purifying Flames! He will get trampled down for his efforts, but Tiger also has access to a magic wand. The stick, rather.
Flicks.
Will not be able to die because he gets slowed down by the shield crash, so he can't catch up to Tiger.
No.
And he knows that he's going to die here. Fortune's End to hold him in position. BZM with the swashbuckle cleans him up. And OG strike back hard in this mid lane. They thought they had that advantage on the side of BetBoom, but OG come back quickly with Tiger and say no.
Yeah, that is so depressing. Unfortunately for Roger, he just got kited out a little bit too much and able to get the conversion there. And I thought Lyle was going to be okay, but level 2 of the Purifying Flames does a lot of damage, huh? So nice little start here for OG. This is a better start going into game number 2 than they had in game number 1. They are doing relatively well in all their lanes. BZM, once again, having a relatively okay time up against Lyle's Leshrac. I think the biggest thing for me, though, is if Amar has a game like he had in the previous, where he's kind of left alone to his own devices for a little bit of time, he could do a lot more than what he did in the previous game with a lot more net worth, right? Like, you go for an early BKB. We've seen Mask of Madness come out of Amar quite a lot across a couple of these games as well. So if he just gets these items that just allows him to enable these team fights, I think is the biggest thing for me. Enable these team fights and enable his players to be able to do a lot of work and make it easier for them. A lot nicer for OG this time around.
Right now, OG is calmly farming in several parts of the map. Chillin'. BZM picks up a DD rune down on the bottom side of the map. We'll see if he decides to do anything with this. Laurel thinking about going top once he picks up the dual bouncies, but unfortunately for him, there's an observer ward right here. So he does also, like you mentioned, it is Leshrac, much more difficult to move around than with the Pangalia unless you have the requisite rune to do so. He's thinking about it though. He really wants to get active on the map, this guy. But
yeah.
Cooler heads will prevail. He's gonna chill, come back, get some damage out onto BZM. We'll miss the split earth, but whatever. It's level 2 split earth, it's okay.
I feel like if he actually hit the split earth, he probably could have killed him. Like, that was actually a lot of damage that he did to BZM purely by just running at him. He did have 7 charges of the wand, so it's not like the end of the world that I think he would have actually solo killed him. He would have got pretty close, though. And I like this movement here from Lau. As you said, you can tell that he wants to get active, but he also knows that, you know, if he does what he did in the previous game, gets a very, very early Bloodstone, how do they really kind of deal with him? I think the only issue he's going to have is with the Slider with the Corrosive Haze, but they've got a lot of peel for him. They've got, you know, the Primal Beast that can get in there and really kind of help him out, give him a little bit of extra space. And I guess if you put that much emphasis on towards the Leshrac, this is where we can see these kind of multi-cores really start to shine. Beautiful thing about the draft here for BetBoom is they have a tri-core. We haven't seen all too many tri-cores or even multi-cores coming in from a lot of these teams. So it has been a thing to behold when we see a lot of these tri-cores. But the thing is with OG is they can punish them. They can punish them pretty hard. Troll Warlord needs a decent amount of items. You know, Lull, albeit only really needs the Bloodstone to start really get to rolling. But it still is a time window that OG can definitely punish them.
What do you actually make of the build that should be coming out on the Troll Warlord? Because I know from OG, their item builds are normally just pretty well subscribed with the heroes they're playing. The only question mark is like Pangolier, if he wants to go for Diffusal first, or maybe the shot first at some point or whatever. But is this a Battle Fury troll game? Most of these troll games have been, but every now and then we do see these trolls emerging with Sanj and Yasha as their primary item before the Battle Fury comes out. Is that a potential for them to do in this particular game?
Yeah, I think Sergeant Yasha wouldn't be too bad of a shout, right? Like a lot of the disables that you've got going towards you are not long duration. So having that Sergeant Yasha, that extra bit of status resist feels pretty good. You know, the bash isn't something you really have to worry all too much about. You can get out of it and then kind of play around the things in these team fights.
Look at this middle. They saw 4 heroes trying to come down and yank onto Dahak, but now here comes Roger. Onslaught onto 2. Notice, gets off the rupture onto BZM. He stalled out as well, tries to roll away, but he knows he's dead to rights. In the meantime, they were also able to run down Nisha with Dahak. So we get bonus gold for the Troll Warlord. And now here they are, mounting. Lal already activated the Diabolic Edict. But between Noticed and Dahak, there's no way they won't be able to just punch through this tier 1 tower. OG, they put 4 heroes down the bottom, but the rotation gets scouted, and the importance of vision comes into play yet again here, Fluke, because it allows them to hard punish OG.
Dude, I love that rotation that came in there from Notice and Dahak. They understand that, like, if they sit back and farm, they're going to get out-farmed by a Luna, and that's what Amal wants to do as well, right? Like, he's one of these naturally greedy kind of off-lane players, and if he sits back, and speaking of Amal, he's in a bit of trouble here. I think they have enough damage to kill him, but
Dahak doesn't want to dive underneath the tier 1 tower, so it turns out Roger just onslaughted into his death. It's only level 5 on the Primal Beast right now, not nearly tanky enough to survive hits from a Slaughter and a tier 1 tower. So they will be able to move him a little bit off the lane. I'll say that Tiger actually shows up bottle and provides all the heals necessary here. Might be able to kill Soniqs. They're running him down. Fortune's End is out, and his life is forfeit. Dahak has to be careful though. Gotta watch yourself versus these 3 heroes. But it is only the Silencer kill at this point. And Leshrac and the Bloodseeker are farming like demons on the other side of the map.
Yeah, I think BetBoom are doing a good job at understanding their power spikes. Oh, Dahak, he's in trouble. There is a Rolling Thunder here. He does have the ulti to try and get away with it.
Will he be able to get it off? No, he will not. Rooted in position, he gets brought down. A TP is coming in to look for revenge, but it does get cancelled. They opt instead to finish off the tower push. So, kill onto Dahak. Unfortunate situation for him. But his team, at the very least, not utilizing his death or the time that his death takes for nothing. They're able to do something on the map with it.
Yeah, they at least get themselves a tier 1 tower. And this is kind of the issue that we're going to see Dahak run into. Is sometimes you don't even get the one button that you're supposed to press on Troll Warlord off. And you don't get that battle trance going. He's going to have some issues, and one of the things I haven't really talked about either is this Oracle has actually got a lot of uses of the Fate's Edict. We talked about the fact that there's no magic damage, but also the disarm on the Troll Warlord. So pre-BKB, Dahak's going to have a lot of issues trying to actually stick on these heroes.
Yeah. It's going to be a real problem. And Oracle already proving his value in this game. We saw middle, the lack of level 6 on Roger denies them a kill onto BZM. If they had the Pulverize available, he would 100% be dead, but they do not, so he ends up living. And they're trying to play it quickly, though. It's all about objectives right now for the side of BetBoom. Here they are, showing up in the bottom lane. Where was this version of BetBoom all weekend? They're back to their full strength. Notice he's going to get caught out, though, inside of a Frostbite, but at the same time, he drops down this Blood Rite. Global Silence will emerge thereafter. Rolling Thunder already committed, but BZM needs to get out. He's ruptured, and they don't have the damage to kill him. Tiger will be brought down during the Split Earth, granting a little bit more intelligence to Soniqs. But on the bright side for OG, although they're liable to lose this tier 1 tower down bottom, doesn't seem like they're going to be too unhappy about not losing the life of BZM. Unless, of course, they lose more with the Luna getting caught while she's trying to find the Ancients. Uragi is gone. Roger doesn't even die. He gets denied by a neutral as well. And they're going to try and clean up the stack as well. BZM needs to try and get immediate revenge. Blood Rite gets dropped down. They cannot keep chasing this Bloodseeker. BZM goes in. Beautiful swashbuckle. The damage outlay with the Orb of Corrosion guarantees that they get the kill. Misha finds a Frostbite onto Soniqs. And the chase will be on from the rest of OG. Double kill for the Pango. And OG making game number 2 a lot more interesting. They got punished a lot in game 1, punched in the nose very, very often. But here in game 2, they're willing to respond in kind.
Yeah, I think that's a good change coming from game 1 to game 2 there for OG. We see with this replay here that it took a whole lot of damage, and this is kind of the unfortunate part about playing into a Crystal Maiden. That Frostbite feels like it has ungodly range most of the time, and Pangolier so much damage, just tore through the remaining members of BetBoom, and Lyle just wasn't able to hit a split earth to get his buddy Snako out of dodge in time. And you can just see the kind of go power that OG have, right? They don't really have to worry about any cooldowns, instead of really rolling Thunder. And the same thing is with BetBoom, they don't really have to worry about Rupture. So at this point, there is going to be a lot of kills. I think this game, there's going to be a lot of running at each other. There's going to be a lot of tower taking. There's going to be a lot of grouping up. And it's all about who can get these team fights going in their favor. Interesting enough, though, for Noticed, he's building a Wraith Pact. I was going to ask whether or not he was thinking about going for this Aura build, or whether or not you want to just go, like, you know, Ag Shard into, like, Maelstrom, BKB, and kind of just be a right-clicker anyways, or whether or not he was going to fall back for something along the lines of the Wraith Pact. But I like the Wraith Pact build.
Oh, Wraith Pact. They catch Vision just as the smoke breaks. They have an Observer Ward. So Vision, yet again, for the side of BetBoom, averting Calamity, as they would have killed Noticed. He really wants to drop one more Blood Right so he doesn't lose this creep camp, but BZM just cleans it up once with a Swashbuckle and a young Shield Crash. They want to try and connect out bottom because Amar has been pushing in this wave. They want this Tier 1 tower. It's only Soniqs that's positioned on this side of the map. So I'm not sure BetBoom have the capability to defend this, but they do have access to a young fortification, and Leshrac is already starting to push onto the Tier 2 tower top. So if they start showing and start pressing onto the tower, there's going to be counterplay available for the side of BetBoom. That might be why OG is playing this so carefully, but they might have found Soniqs, but he's gone. Just as the Crystal Nova scouts him out, he manages to disappear. And that will leave this bottom lane blank, but OG also without kills.
Yeah, Snako did a good job to kind of figure out how they wanted to go here. Tahak, though, he's built up a Diffusal Blade. Okay. So I don't hate this. It means that BetBoom understand that they want to fight early. They're trying to do the troll thing here, where you kind of do what Huskars do, and you kind of pull Roshan into this awkward little spot. But now that they've got the Leshrac here, they've got the Vladimir offering up on Notice as well. So Tahak is more than happy. This is going to be a free Rosh here for BetBoom as well. OG at least privy to some of this information now, but it's going to be far too late for them to get this Roshan back in their own favor. And I like this build that comes in from a lot of the BetBoom members. They are falling behind when it comes to net worth, but they're going to have this nice little item timing, right? They're going to have the Wraith Pact. They're going to get very close to Tahak's BKB as well. And once they start getting towards that point in combination with Lyle's, you know, Bloodstone, they're going to be able to kind of just run at OG. And I think OG, if they aren't able to utilize their Rolling Thunder properly, if they aren't able to utilize the False Promise, then their team kind of starts to fall by the wayside. And it's really on to kind of Uragi and Amar to have a few moments of brilliance. And I might be asking for a lot here, considering it is pretty late in Singapore right now. It's getting closer towards 1 AM here in Australia. So that's almost, what, 11 PM? No, 10 PM in Singapore right now. So it's getting late out there.
Spending a whole day playing Dota. Here in South Africa, it's getting close to 4 PM. But you know, we started at 4 AM. We've been out here. As Laurel activates the Diabolic Edict, making the push happen onto the Tier 2 tower in the top lane. OG, they have smoked up. They want to reveal this Blink Dagger. I don't think it's been scouted just yet from Amar. Will they be able to get in on a fight? They jump first onto this Bloodseeker, but there's the Global Silence. Unfortunately, Amar might be in danger here. Misha, he's sitting alone in the midst of several heroes from the side of BetBoom, and he ends up losing his life. They committed the Rolling Thunder, but now it's been ruptured. So BZM is going to have to cancel this. Gets up onto the high ground, though, and that'll provide him some degree of safety. As Noticed, flies too close to the sun, dies underneath the damage provided by the Eclipse of Uragi. So that's going to be a 1-for-1, but it's a much more important kill attained for the side of OG. And they do manage to stop, at least stall the Tier 2 tower push in the top lane.
Yeah, you can see how scary Amar is, right? He's got this Mask of Madness and the Blink Dagger, so, you know, much like game number 1, he's able to farm up towards these scary little iron timings, and might be trying to bait Amar a little bit here. They found that Roger.
Nice. Pulverize will be there, though. Will they be able to turn this around? Here comes the rest of the lineup, but they don't really want to get in on top of this. Swashbuckle will be there onto Tahak and the crew. Get the Corrosive Haze out onto Laurel. Amar has a Blink Dagger available, but but doesn't want to overcommit for this one just yet. And OG starting to build more and more of a lead, but more importantly, they're starting to feel like they're building momentum. They have the overall gold lead as well, and that means that sooner rather than later, they'll have their own BKBs, and at that point, a lot of the outcoming damage of BetBoom is going to be disabled. The Hawk is not yet strong enough to beat these heroes down physically, so they need LoL to be effective in these engagements. These BKBs will help a lot in keeping the heroes away from this Leshrac.
Yeah, and I think the scary thing is right now is Amar's kind of the scariest hero on the map, right? And they don't really have a good way of dealing with the Slardar. Like, they don't have any good disengage with the global silence. He doesn't care about that. He's going to silence himself anyways with the Mask of Madness. Like, they're getting towards a 4-star, but you can't really rupture him either because you want to try and rupture BZM to try and counter out the Rolling Thunder. So Amar's in a really good spot now, and this Slardar pick might be able to come up trumps for OG, especially with the way that Amar is playing it. They're slowly eking forward on this net worth lead, and this is where we're really starting to define the issue with the Troll Warlord, right? Not having this this item that allows him to accelerate his farm feels very, very awkward. He was going to go for an Aghanim Scepter, but it seems like now he's with Robert attempting to need a BKB here on you, Mr. Bahak. And not having that that farm accelerant, you can really feel that, you know, the Luna is just constantly getting in front of him. Uragi loves hitting creeps, and he's been able to do that for 18 minutes now, and it's getting pretty scary as well.
Bottom lane, they were TPing in to potentially try and stop Amar. They took a T2 tower in the top lane. That is going to be one aspect of their draft that's always going to be good. The ability to knock these buildings over. OG going to struggle with that until Luna gets a little bit stronger. But like you say, Uragi loves hitting creeps, and he's been rewarded because he's about to go Super Saiyan. He's got enough gold here for the BKB. As it arrives on the Luna, they might want to try and make a move on the side of OG. But at the same time, a move is coming from BetBoom as well. They have 3 heroes smoked up. Who can they catch out of this one? It's being led by the Leshrac here for Laurel, who still has access to this Aegis for another 30 seconds. They've drawn a circle around the outpost. And oh no. Do they know Uragi's alone down bottom? If they had any information about this, oh, they'll be... I mean, they might actually try to double back through this direction. Yeah. Oh no, keep going. No, this wrong way. Wrong way.
Yeah. Just playing without a bit of vision here. He has shown himself on the creep wave though, but Uragi, the spider senses are tingling, really realizing that people of BetBoom are not around. They had this nice little ward as well in the jungle, so Snaker will at least clean that up now. But yeah, just understanding that Uragi is in a good spot now. TP's back, rejoins with his team. This tier 2 tower is probably going to be on the menu. I don't know if BetBoom can actually come in and team fight them here. This global silence isn't going to be the kind of game breaker that they're hoping to be. You know, the Luna and the Slardar, they don't care about global silence. You know, BZM, he's going to get ruptured anyways. So it's going to be a very, very hard set of team fights for BetBoom.
Are you sure, fam? He's got a Lincoln Sphere now, so rupturing him becomes all the more difficult. BZM commits pretty hard to ensuring that this Bloodseeker is not going to be able to just remove him from play in the midst of the fight. To be fair, he has gone for this Lincoln, so he still can get hit with like Global Silence, Lightning Storm to cancel the Lincolns, and then suddenly you're ruptured anyway. But now it's an additional layer of concentration that BetBoom have to have. Instead of just mindlessly RM, whatever, let's control the fight. Things do not look that simple. And OG, with no Aegis online for BetBoom, they don't feel as strong. A 6k gold lead has been picked up now for the side of OG. As they continue to push down bottom, they want to bring down this tower so they can take this outpost, equalize some of the map advantage. And BetBoom, they want nothing to do with this fluke. They're playing everywhere but where OG are right now.
Yeah, I think they realize that OG are just in this kind of state, very, very hard for them to deal with. I don't think Lal is going to feel all too confident about running into a team fight with only a blood. So he's got 3.2k gold, so kind of just trying to figure out what he wants to go for, whether it be the Blink Dagger, maybe he wants to go for Denialism, but oh no, Bloodseeker's dead.
Bloodseeker is indeed dead. Allies are streaming in to try and potentially avenge him, but it's going to be a little bit too late. They're unable to come back in time, and they're actually just pushing the higher ground, OG. BetBoom, they played game number 1 fairly quickly. OG trying to respond here and do exactly the same thing. Dahak is behind them, but Dahak's actually not that strong. They jump onto Roger. Amar! How did he catch him? I think his courier scouted him flying over his head. And then he finally gets the kill. Amar though, takes a little bit of damage back. Bash in is going to be there. And they will be able to find a split earth onto BZM. That's 2 supports already down. Frostbite onto Dahak. Dahak, will he get off his ultimate? No, he won't. As Uraki bursts him from the heavens with the Eclipse. It's a double kill for the Luna. And that's no buyback on Dahak. He's in the grave for a certified 35 seconds. And against the Luna draft, that can be a very long time. But fortunately for the side of BetBoom, OG do decide to back.
Yeah, and unfortunately for BetBoom, they're paying the troll tax right now. I haven't seen what this hero is supposed to be doing in these games. You're gonna have to go back and look at those Team Spirit replays because I don't know how Yatoro has been able to make this hero look good. This could be a big kill though. Killing Amar will be awesome for BetBoom.
Massive. He's been hit up as well with the Rupture, but they give him the Lincoln Sphere. He moves himself into the river, just gets out with the TP. And they don't have any Bashers built up just yet. Given that this Bloodseeker did go for this more Aura style build, he's not going to be building Basher anytime soon. Dahak wants BKB right now.
4-staff on the Bloodseeker. It's sad times when your offlane Bloodseeker has a Wraith pack and a 4-staff. As you said, Dahak getting closer to that BKB. Yeah, I think BetBoom kind of outdrafted themselves in this second game. I think they kind of overcomplicated it with the Bloodseeker. It is a good response to the Pangolier, but we've seen what Panga's able to do, and OG running rampant.
Well, this is classic Amar Slaughter. There's going to be a global silence being triggered out right now, so they can't keep this team fight going for a moment. But unfortunately, BetBoom, they're using this global silence as a moment to just reposition, but they haven't retreated just yet, so they're still in danger. Jump in, though, coming in from Law with the Bloodstone active, was trying to force a fight. But there's way too much HP on the side of OG. Having Tiger nearby, we got to see the impact there for a moment of what he can do with this Fate's Edict. At first it seemed like BZM was in trouble. Tiger presses W and BZM's fine.
Yep. It's the power of this OG draft. They do it unconventionally, but they do it their way. And I think that's the best thing about seeing OG here in this TI is they're going to be pulling some weird and wacky stuff. You know, this Oracle, we have seen it as a response into the Primal Beast in previous games. We've seen a little bit of it from other teams as well, but where the OG, you know, kind of play these games, they play around Amar's hero pool as well. I think it is the best thing for them. The start game has been really, really good from Amar. When he plays his comfort heroes, he looks very, very strong. And, you know, we know what Yuragi's able to do when he is able to hit some creeps and hit these hard carries. So OG in a really, really good spot here to stop BetBoom from going in towards day number 4 with even a glimmer of hope. And OG, they're playing it really well. I think BetBoom, if they can get a good team fight going their way, if they can kill Yuragi, if they can even kill Amar, I think will be a big fight for them. But they're just so far behind in gold. They're 12,000 gold behind now at 25 minutes in. I just don't think they have the damage. I think you know, Tiger's going to block most of it, if not all of it.
I would like to tell you, good sir, right? There's some surprise results that have just come in that have given BetBoom a lifeline. We'll talk about it after the game, but I'm very happy to announce that even if they lose, they're still in TI. Even if they lose. Woo! Tomorrow's going to be a hot day. Y'all have no idea. But OG, they don't know that just yet. For them, as far as they're aware, they need this game for any hope of advancement into the upper bracket. And even if they win this game, it's still possible that they don't make it up there. They're coming up the high ground now. Double damage rune available for Yuragi. Scotty, BKB, Mask of Madness. Let's go. Strongest hero on the map by quite some distance, but they don't have an Aegis going for this push. So still a bit of a risky one. We do see in the top lane, Leshrac trying to force in these waves. But OG, they want this tier 3 tower. They want to open up the space. How on earth do you de-push this Fluke? How do you force them away from your base?
I don't know. Lyle's doing his best to try and get some pressure on the top side, but all it takes is them to walk up and do this.
He's got fire.
And they get a,
it's fine.
They get a Jeb, they get a Courier.
Well, it's like beating on a pinata, man. Goodies just started falling out of Soniqs. And we get the tier 3 tower. They finish off these racks. Going for the final push for themselves. This all started when they began coming up the high ground down bottom after killing Noticed in this bottom lane. Will it finish here? BKB, complete for Laurel. You've got Blink BKB, Bloodstone available in 5 seconds. They need to make something happen special here. We still haven't seen the impact of Dahak, but now he finally does have access to the BKB. Tier 3 tower has fallen. As you said in the draft, who initiates the fights for them? They have no clear fight starter. And Dahak gets loose and beamed up. He's trying to come in from the angle. Bloodright misses in its entirety as they all step out of it. And Roger, look where Roger is. He's behind them, trying to come in for a weird onslaught angle. But they have to be very careful with how they approach this. Bloodright's dropped again. Amar will get silenced from this, but doesn't really care that much. You got Tiger nearby if it was that much of a problem. As they now go middle, they find Dahak, they find the Troll Warlord. Troll is dead without buyback. And Dahak, 40 seconds in the grave. It's not going to take them that long to destroy your base. As now with this Rolling Thunder, they're thinking about going for more. The Swashbuckle zones 2 heroes back into the fountain. It's only Law that can stand his ground. But even with Lal outside of the Wraith Pack, they have no fear here for the side of OG. And they take down a second lane of Rax. Only one remains. There is a tier 1 tower in the top lane, so they can't go for the Megas. They have to go for the Jugular. Amar ruptured up right now. Can just stand his ground though. A Tiger right there with the heals if needed. And Amar should be fine. Lal gets off the split earth onto 2 heroes, but this might just be a debate. They're going in. Primal Beast threw in a rock. Look at Uragi falling low, but he gets off his BKB, turns on the damage tap onto Lal. And with the corrosive haze between himself and Amar, they have more than enough right-click damage. They do get the kill. Dahak finally does respawn. Has the Battletrons, has the BKB, died before he could get off either. And he hasn't been able to use either in this game. And OG are like, wait a second. He's by far their strongest hero. Let's just re-engage them. What's Dahak gonna do?
Yeah. I don't really know what BetBoom are going to be able to do. I'm not quite sure if OG are actually able to end the game just yet. They're not that far ahead. They are 22,000 gold ahead, but I think it's still going to be a pretty hard task for them to end this game here. But it's all about how to BetBoom even start a fight here. One of the tier 4s is going down, and I mean, maybe they can onslaught onto target. They had to kill Oracle first, I think.
Rolling Thunder going to be coming in from BZM. He's creating space and time. Dahak in the meantime gets off his BKB, trying to get these right clicks out onto Amar. Amar is falling low. There's a false promise to keep the Slaughter alive though, but he gets off the Battletrons. Who's going to end up winning this one? It is going to be the Troll, who's able to eliminate the Slaughter. In the meantime, the rest of BetBoom taking down OG as they bring down BZM thanks to the advent of the Roger Pulverize, and Lal throws in mass amounts of damage at the same time. So BetBoom, they're up against it right now. They've lost 2 lanes of Rax, but they haven't lost the game. And guess what, Fluke? Guess what Gaimin says? DD into Rosh, your reward for being able to hold on to an impossible situation.
Yeah, I think OG kind of just overstepped their bounds. They're at 100% win rate, and now they're up to 99%. So I think they just kind of overstood a little bit. They kind of started to run out a bit of their resources. They didn't have their eclipse. They didn't have a few more of their abilities to be able to play around with. So now we are looking at a scenario where there is a very small chance, still is a chance nonetheless, for BetBoom to try and get this W here. They have a Aghanim Shard on the Troll Warlord, so he gets access to Rampage. Probably one of the, I don't want to call it the most useless shards, but it's pretty bad.
Why didn't they give it to Leshrac?
To be fair, it is good against Slardar because the status resist is good against Slardar's low duration stuff. Right? 25% status resist is relatively good. The 70 bonus attack speed, literally useless this game. So I probably would have preferred it to go either to like the Bloodseeker or even to the Leshrac on Lal. But either way, they give it to the Troll Warlord, and I think they kind of need to put everything into this Troll Warlord because otherwise he will not be able to come out on top. Oh, Amar goes
in. He reads where they're at, but he gets himself ruptured for his troubles. BZM now coming in, bouncing through multiple heroes with the Rolling Thunder. Lal has already lost the Aegis. BZM in the meantime trying to bring down Notice. Global Silence will eventually emerge, but it's too late. Frostbite kills the Notice Bloodseeker. Lal on the second life gets off the BKB with the Bloodstone, but Uragi, his BKB is already expended. Berserk mode from Dahak is beating down the Troll. Even with the Fortune's End and the False Promise, he might still die, but at the same time they do kill off the Troll Warlord, and Uragi stays standing. Between Lal and Dahak, they just didn't have enough damage, Fluke. And now they're going to try and just clean up on the heroes trying to escape. Roger able to onslaught away. Notice has fled with the tail tucked between his legs after buying back. And OG, it looked for a second like it might be rough, but they just don't have the damage to deal with this Oracle. Unlike what happened inside the base where Tiger got isolated by Laurel, this time around Tiger was able to comfortably sit on the back of the fight, casting spells like there's no tomorrow.
Bro, they didn't even Rampage. That's the sad part, is they didn't even use it for the Troll. Now he uses the Rampage, but that's about it. Maybe they can hold on.
Roger Oh, pulverized, cancelled immediately by getting off this Primal Beast. The Hawk's life is cancelled as well as he gets sent back to the fountain. And GG is called by BetBoom as OG succeed in winning game number 2. They keep their upper bracket dreams alive. And for a moment, it really did feel like BetBoom's TI journey would have been over. I've checked. In the meantime, it isn't yet. But now they literally only have one final lifeline remaining. OG, though, phenomenal performance coming in from them. This was kind of the OG we were hoping to have seen in game number 1. But in game 2, whew, they really put it together, Fluke, and they looked phenomenal doing it.
Yeah, this is why I don't think